Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Justin Gabriel, and in today's video, I'm going to go over my investing strategy for the rest of 2021. In this video, I'm going to talk about my investments and detail all my plans that cover my $50,000 portfolio. Now, before I dive in, we first need to understand how I got here. And I know I'm not the first person on YouTube to go over their investing strategy, but this is really designed for beginners. In this video, I'm not going to take into consideration 401ks or IRAs. You really should already be doing that. This is for everything else that you want to put your money in and invest with. So the story of my investing strategy really starts in 2017. And yes, it starts with crypto. I can't believe it myself. I bought crypto before I even bought a single share of stock. It started with me downloading Coinbase, and then I bought Bitcoin and I bought Ethereum. And I held on to that until it tanked in 2017. Now fast forward a few years later, I started to realize that outside of crypto, I needed to start making my own investments and my own stock purchases. And so from there, I downloaded Robinhood. And in November of 2019, I bought my first share of stock, which was Uber. I thought Uber had a lot of room to go, and really the delivery space was just getting started. And we've seen that over the last couple years with Uber stock slowly rising. And to this day, I still own and am an investor in Uber. And from those small beginnings, I've built up my portfolio to almost $50,000. And that includes everything from Coinbase to Robinhood. And now I'm gonna talk about a few other alternative areas. So that's a little bit about the history of me getting into investing. But before I dive into what I'm investing in for the rest of 2021, please like and subscribe to this video. It's still a small channel, and I'm gonna be doing better posting more videos going forward. But for all of you that want to continue on with this journey as we look at bettering yourself through finance and investing, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And make sure to stick around because I'm gonna talk about an interesting sector that I've seen over 300% return in. Now first, let's talk about stocks. I generally invest in tech-heavy categories. I've seen a lot of return from there. With the new administration coming in the beginning of 2021, I'm also looking at clean energy stocks. And I won't necessarily get into any individual stocks in this case, but one thing you should always be investing in is stocks, and I'm looking at it from a 30-year timeline. Yes, stocks may not perform as well this year as they did last year, but keep in mind, we want to be investing for at least 30 years, and especially if you are younger, that should be your time frame. Now there's a lot of talk about upcoming crashes, stocks being overvalued, and yes, that could always come true. We never know how this year is going to turn out, and especially as we're recovering from a global pandemic, we don't really know with certainty what's going to happen, and there's a lot of uncertainty in the space right now. But still, continually investing in stocks in areas that you think are going to grow is a fundamental to investing, and it's a fundamental to understanding the value of your portfolio and where you want to put your money. And this is also in consideration that you are investing in index funds, and that a lot of your 401k is going to be a little bit more of a safer investment than individual stock picking. If you're young, this is where you could get a little bit riskier. Now the second component I need to talk about is crypto. And yes, crypto is going to be a little bit more riskier than your individual stocks, but it does have the potential to really change your portfolio. I'm invested in Bitcoin and I'm invested in Ethereum. Now these have really shot up over the last 3 or 4 months, and there's talk about upcoming fluctuations within the market. Regardless of whether you are bullish or bearish in the short term, in the long term, it does have the potential to pay off. There's been talk from $150,000 Bitcoin all the way up to $1 million Bitcoin. But right now it's more of a store of value. However, in the next 5 to 10 years, it has a very real possibility of becoming an alternative currency. So for me personally, if I know that this has a chance to become a legit thing and really has a chance to say 10x, I want to have some exposure to it. And surprisingly, because it has gone up so much in value, most of my portfolio is weighted towards crypto. And that was unintentional. Now, that surely will fluctuate in the short term, and this year, who's to say whether Bitcoin or Ethereum goes up or goes down? We still need to wait and see how things are going to shake out. But in terms of long-term exposure, I'm more willing to bet that it works out than it doesn't. Now the third thing that I'm investing in, and it has become super popular within the last few weeks, is non-fungible tokens. This is going to be a form of alternative investments. And a great example of this has been NBA Top Shot. I'm going to do a video on NBA Top Shot a little bit later on, but I've started getting into NBA Top Shot and I've seen quite the return. Now don't get me wrong, this is very unproven and very risky, and I'm only putting a small portion of my dollars at use here. But within the last month, I've made a portfolio that's valued at almost $15,000 and well over a 300% return. And again, similar to Bitcoin or Ethereum, whether that continues on or if this is just another sign of the top, I don't know, but I do want some exposure and have the ability to 10x this investment. And apart from NBA Top Shot, there are other NFTs in the space that people are really drawn to. Most notably art. The rise in popularity of having these art pieces on the blockchain and tokenized have been really attractive both from a buyer's and seller's market. The ability to have it on the blockchain and tokenized has been really interesting for both buyers wanting to get into more alternative investing assets and sellers, primarily the artists, looking to sell their digital pieces. And in a lot of ways, this is following the trend of going digital, where younger people want to own digital assets versus physical, tangible objects. Now, the fourth thing I'm going to be investing in this year is real estate. I live in Denver. Denver has been a hot real estate market, and the house I'm in right now has seen its value go up almost 10% within the last year. Now, it's kind of a seller's market at this point, and I don't necessarily want to own another piece of property within the Denver market. However, that doesn't mean that I don't want to own property elsewhere, which brings me to owning an Airbnb. Now, I've been looking at different properties within vacation hotspots across the nation. Everywhere from Scottsdale to Las Vegas, Hilton Head, Myrtle Beach. And there's real potential to have real estate investments in these locations, rent it out through Airbnb, and be able to build equity in a property while still generating profits or income. And I'll be sure to keep you guys updated as I search for that perfect Airbnb property. And finally, the number one thing you should be investing in 2021 for the rest of the year is yourself. We're already into March. Some of the New Year's resolutions are starting to wear off, but keep going. And I myself, I want to lose weight. I'm on a journey to do that. I want to learn more, and I've signed up for courses on Udemy and Coursera in order to impart that knowledge on the things that I want to learn and do. Always remember, above all, whether it's stocks, crypto, real estate, your number one investment is you and bettering yourself on a day-to-day basis. Are you gonna be a better person a year from now than you are today? The answer should be yes. You should be continually pushing yourself, and I'm doing this through YouTube and sharing that, but really anybody that's within this space should be pushing themselves. So that wraps up what I'm investing in for the rest of 2021. I hope you enjoyed the video. I will be creating other ones that go into my portfolio and looking at individual stocks. Also, my next video will be on NBA Top Shot and diving in on how I've created a 300% return within the last 2 months on that platform. And before I go, if you haven't liked or subscribed, do so below. Feel free to comment on what your investing plan is for the rest of 2021, or if you want to predict or forecast the market, I want to hear your thoughts below. And with that, I will see you guys in the next video.